In our previous video, we discussed about hypodermic media theory, also known as magic bullets theory. So here today, we are going to move on to another theory, which is agenda setting theory. So before we talk about the concept of agenda setting theory, let us look at the historical background that leads to the formulation of this agenda setting theory. Don't forget, in our first video that I discussed about hypodermic media theory, we talked about how the mass media impart information to the audience in a kind of uniformity. So this one leads to the formulation of this agenda setting theory. Historically, agenda setting theory can be traced back to the first book written by Walter Lippmann in 1922. According to Walter Lippmann, he said that the mass media is a principal connection between the event in the world and the image in the minds of the people. And the first opening chapter of this book depicts that the world outside and the pictures in our head. According to this guy, he actually said that the mass media control the kind of the message that is going to be in the minds of the audience. So that is the introduction part of this theory. So moving on to the core assumption of agenda setting theory, the first assumption depicts the reality of the message by the mass media. So the mass media control the reality, that is, they have to shape the news, they have to filter the news before they publish the news to the mass audience. So they know the best news that is going to be given to the audience. So that is the first assumption of agenda setting theory. So moving on to the second assumption, which deal with the priority of the message. So the more likely the mass media given to a kind of the message, the more likely the mass audience is going to like the kind of the news given by the mass media. That actually deal with, like, if the mass media repeated any kind of the message, the mass audience is going to put more pressures on that news. So that is the two core assumption of agenda setting theory. So the name of the theory that actually propounded this theory are Maxwell McCombs and Donald Shaw in 1970. So we have three models of agenda setting theory. The first one deal with silencing model, the second one deal with priorities model, the third one deal with awareness model. So if you want to talk about these models, the first one that deal with the silencing model, this one deal with interval model between the priorities models and the awareness model. This one actually deal with, like, take example now, if the mass media depicts any news that deal with topic X, so the mass media that deal with topic X will prioritize, will be aware of that news. So if they are not aware about a particular news, they will not put more pressures on that news. So that is awareness model. So moving on to the priorities model, as the name implies, so any news that the mass media prioritize to the media outspace, the mass media is going to believe on that news, they are going to prioritize that news. So that is priorities model. So moving on to the silencing models, this one also deal with the priorities model that actually deal with, like, if they put any pressures on that news, so the mass media is going to like that news, they are going to prioritize that news as importance. So that is priorities model. Those are the three models. Don't forget, we also have three levels of agenda setting theory. We have the first level, we have the second level, we have the third level. So the first level deal with policy agenda setting, the second deal with the public agenda setting, the third one deal with the media agenda setting. So those are the three agenda setting. And according to a scholar as well, Bernard Cohen in 1963, he actually stated that the mass media may not successfully tell the audience what to think, but they are very good in telling the audience what to think about. So that is the idea by this guy Bernard Cohen. So that is all about this agenda setting theory. According to Walter Lippmann, he argues that the mass media are the premise source of the image in the minds of the public and their external world. He went on saying that the mass media, like the people's imagination, are shaped by the image they see on television, that is, which can lead to the stereotypes that are difficult to change. I hope this facilitates your learning momentum. So in our next video, I'll be talking about the gatekeeping theory. So don't forget to click on subscribe button, follow, likes, and comment and shares to others. Thank you guys.